Okay, welcome guys. Welcome to our third meeting. We didn't have one last week, but we've obviously got one this week. Just a little bit of an update as to kind of what we're up to. I'll do a quick sound check to make sure the volume's okay. I think it's a bit low, so I'll just adjust that just to make sure that we've got it working perfectly. Excellent. All right, so an update for the session. Today is really the last 2 weeks we've looked at testing the trend trader. So the goal was for us to look at the trend trader, look at how we could potentially improve the dynamics of the trend trader, what we could do to tweak it. And I've got someone just doing a little bit more work on just testing it more so with key levels rather than a filter. Well, the key level is pretty much a filter. And I'm just having a chat with Jim tomorrow. Hey, Steph, how are you, mate? And Jim was telling me that he's been able to double the profitability on crude oil trend traders. So I'm thinking that if we put that much effort into these strategies, the reward is phenomenal. So if he can do that, then it definitely may be worth having a look at that as an option for us to include in the strategy. But let's just do a recap, because I'll go through the list of trades I've got at the moment and what markets are running hot. And really, I'll be uploading this to the website tomorrow. I've just been a little bit flat out today, but I've got it open. So I'll talk you through the different markets we've tested. It's the Excel spreadsheet that's uploaded to the trend trader results area. So let me just go to that now, and I'll just explain what we're doing and what changes have been made to the strategy by Mike, and how that's potentially going to improve things. So the interesting part will be what I've found already in just the basic testing I've done is that by having a circuit breaker strategy, it has definitely reduced the drawdown. Because remember, like when we're trading these systems and strategies, our goal really is to, we're everyone in this room knows that the win rate isn't the key, it's the drawdown. We want to minimize our drawdown so that when we get on a good run, we can take advantage of that. So let me just jump into the website and just take you to that. So just while I'm grabbing that, one other thing is that with any time you make an adjustment to a strategy or tweak it, what you've got to do is just make sure that you don't actually disadvantage any other part of the system or strategy. So you don't want to be trying to improve one component and kind of really taking away another part. So you've got to be a little bit careful, but let's have a look. So with any time I do an update on performance on the strategies, it'll go into our results area, the V2 results. So our goal is to, if we click on that area in the site, the goal is to basically have that spreadsheet, which there it is there, the weekly recap. Date that as well, because that's going to be needed to be updated every week. Really, and guys, what I would do is I would just go in here, and so there's the spreadsheet there. So here, that's perfect. But what I'll do is I'll actually upload the spreadsheet into this area. So I'll copy the table and upload the spreadsheet. So I'll do a quick screenshot, upload the table, and what it does, it allows us to track. We're obviously tracking these markets here. But if you've got other markets that you're looking at or tracking, we want to keep adding to the list, because really, ideally, we probably want about 20 or 30 different markets that not markets, but 20 or 30 different combinations that we're following just on the trend trader. Because what I'm going to do, and I tried to get it done this week, but it'll probably be early next, is we're going to set up what we call the system performance number, or the Van Tharp calls it the SQN. There's another guy, a doctor of mathematics, who calls it the T-score, it's really measuring how your system's performing. I spoke about it 2 weeks ago. How your system is tracking when it starts to come off. Van Tharp's SQN number has a rating between 1 and 7. The higher the number, the better the system. Like the 7 is the holy grail of trading, and obviously the lower the number, the less effective your strategy is. So we just need something that we can look at a glance. I mean, obviously, with the table, you can see what the profit has been, what the average net. These are some of the key things that we want to see: a good profit, good average net profit per trade, and the drawdown to be reasonable based on the account size. So as long as those things are working well. Now, this is based on us taking every single trade in the allotted time slot. So if we look at our trade setups here, for DAX, for crude, heating oil, Euro futures, gold, coffee, sugar, they're all taking trades as the whole session sets up. Now, we don't want to be doing that. We want to really have a circuit breaker. So I've got to send an email to Mike about just a couple of additional things we're gonna code up, which we'll talk about tonight. But really, and we spoke about this, we've got the max wins, max losses. So that's a step in the right direction for us to reduce our drawdown, because there will be some sessions, and I'm sure you've traded them yourself or you've been involved with and looked at the charts where, you just get a lot of really choppy trade. It doesn't help you at all. It actually, sessions like that, you just want to eliminate those. So you have to have a circuit breaker. And the circuit breaker for us is going to be, which is going to be built into all of our strategies. So we've done it now. So what I will do is I will upload 2 tables now. I'll upload the table that has no circuit breaker, and then I'll do some testing on the best circuit breaker strategy for each of these. But what I'm going to ask you to do, because I've only really got back probably about 2 or 3 markets that have been tested. So if I can get you to submit a potential, if you haven't sent one through, if you can have a go at finding one, there's plenty of markets to test. And the good thing about TradeStation is you can actually get delayed data for $1. So don't worry about paying for the live data. You don't need live data if you're just testing. You can just test. You can ring them up and say, look, I'm only trading crude live or DAX live or the Russell live. Everything else you can just go for $1 and just have a look at, you can have a look at other markets. And then if you find you hit, a jackpot and you get something that's really good, then you can switch it over. But I would definitely, you want to keep your running costs down, so you definitely only need delayed data. It has no impact on your testing. So with the stuff there, basically when you go down the settings tab, so I had an email today and he was saying that the settings were a little bit small. What I've done is I've gone in there and I've increased those to 12 fonts. So when you click on the settings cell, you'll see, once you open the spreadsheet up, they'll come up as really big settings. So that'll be much better for us all to see. And I'll just keep adding to this table. So if we get better and better markets, we'll add to this, and what I'll do is it'll get to the point where we have a ranking system. It's just going to evolve as we go along, and we have to update last week's trade results, so we'll do that. And I've already done the 89 tick. I know that performed really well. The 202 did well. The 202 for the month of May was actually slightly profitable, and that hasn't actually had a losing month on the DAX. So the 202 trend trader has been very, very good for the last 6 months. So surprisingly, it hasn't had a losing month at all, and that's that period from 9:30 to 13:15. So interesting stats on the DAX 202, 9:30 to 12:30, I should say. So let's 9:30 to 9 till 12:30. Sorry. It's 9 to 13.15 is the 89. So let's just go through what we want to test this week. So if you have got anything that you've looked at and you want to send it through, please do. I'll add it to this list, so we'll keep kind of going. I'm going to add double the performance of crude. So if we have a look at crude 89 tick 2 to 5, he's taken it from 14,000 to about 28, I think he said. So he's doubled the profitability on that strategy, which is phenomenal. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. So that's the trend trader. Now, what we want to do this week is we want to basically, that was just taking out the key levels. So that's phenomenal effort. This week is all about the cycle trader. Mike and I are going to spend a bit of time. Let's just quickly check with Mike. I'll get Mike to just jump on here, and I'll sorry, Mike. I'll give you mic access. So I'll just get you to do a quick sound check, Mike, and we'll see. It should be able to be coded in. I'll just see. Just give me a yeah when you're ready to go, Mike. While we're waiting, I'll continue on. I'll let Mike just set that up. Yeah. So really, for us, I'm reasonably confident. Okay, Mike's on. It's Mike, good stuff. Okay, so basically today I wanted to just go through some of the things we're just going to be coding up. So I'll just shoot an email to Mike to kind of confirm that, and then we'll upload on the website just to give you guys an idea of what we're doing. So we'll just run through basically now what we're looking to do, and these will be some of the strategy improvements with the system. So we'll start with the cycle trader because that's what we're kind of working on next. And the main things we're looking at there are, so if we just go to our standard chart, we'll use crude as an example, although we could go to the Euro US dollar because I'm liking what I see there. But let's just tighten this up a little bit, and we'll go to. I'll get an example of what we're looking at. So with our cycle trader, we're really looking for double tops, double bottoms, support, resistance. So with the actual strategy itself, it trades, it buys support, sells resistance. So it's really taking advantage of that cyclical, rangy type price activity. But what I've noticed on the cycle trader is that it consistently does very, very well on. Well, there's a couple of things. We'll go to the cycle trader, then I'll jump back to the trend because I'll do an update on the stops there as well. But let me just see. Crude's been, here we go. So I'll find a good example. Some days you won't get too many of these setups, but other days there'll be like 20. So here's a small example of what I'm talking about. So what we're looking for is double tops, double bottoms. And we're using this algorithm, the support resistance, to get us into trade. So with the cycle trader, what our goal is to sell resistance, buy support. That's it. So what we thought, well, that works great, but then it can obviously go through a period where it doesn't work that well when the market breaks out. So we decided that what we should do is perhaps look at potentially just adding some filters. Now, the obvious filter for us is the double top. So the double top on the cycle trader. So we see a previous top set up, and then we see that level of resistance. So on the sell, we'd see a level of resistance, which we've got pretty much there. And this would be, now ideally what we want to see is our third filter. So we go insert analysis technique, and voila,